Okay, so imagine this. A brand new teammate is joining your most important projects, but this teammate, well, they never sleep, they don't need a desk, and they might just be the key to unlocking your team's real genius. Today, we are diving into the rise of the virtual collaborator.
Here's a thought. What if your most valuable, most insightful teammate wasn't a person at all? Now, this isn't some far-off sci-fi idea. It is the reality of a super powerful new partnership between humans and AI, and we're about to break down exactly how it all works.
So what is this new kind of teammate, really? Let's be super clear here. We're not just talking about another productivity app or some simple chatbot. No, we are talking about an active, intelligent partner in your team's work.
So the official term is a virtual collaborator, but the phrase you really got to grab onto is dynamic role-based collaboration. This means it doesn't just do one thing over and over. You should think of it more like a super talented team member who can step in as a strategist 1 minute, an analyst the next, or a project manager, whatever the team needs. It's a partner, not just a program.
All right, so what does this partner actually do all day? Well, it tackles some of the biggest headaches that teams face. It can take a huge complex project and chop it up into small manageable pieces. And this part is crucial. It acts as a universal translator, turning our big, creative ideas into precise instructions that other AI systems can actually follow. And maybe most importantly, it's always learning, always looking for ways to make the whole team work smarter and faster.
Okay, so we know what it is, but how does it actually work without just causing total chaos, right? This isn't about letting an AI just run wild. The whole system is built on a very structured set of rules, these specialized workflows that are called pipes.
The best way to think of these pipes is like specialized assembly lines, but for thinking. So instead of just tossing a problem into a big black box and hoping for the best, the virtual collaborator channels every single task through the perfect workflow for the job. This makes sure every challenge gets handled in the most effective way possible.
And here are the 4 main workflows. First up, you've got the StrategosPipe. Strategos is actually Greek for general, and this one's all about high-level planning, seeing the big picture. Next, for really digging into the data, tasks go into the AnalytikosPipe. That's your team's dedicated analyst. When it's time to actually do the work and get stuff done, it goes to the PraktorPipe. And finally, you have the KybernetesPipe, which is kind of the system's coordinator or governor, making sure all the other parts are working together perfectly.
Okay, these specialized workflows sound powerful, but how do you stop them from just becoming their own little bubbles? How does the system make sure every single team member, human and AI, is always working from the exact same playbook? Well, the answer is pretty cool. You create a shared brain.
And this is where it gets really brilliant. The system builds something called a cognitive knowledge graph. The easiest way to picture this is as a shared digital brain for the entire team. It captures every decision, every piece of data, every insight from both the people and the AI agents. It means nothing ever gets lost in an email thread or forgotten after a meeting, ever again. Everybody is always on the same page.
Now, to manage all this information flying around, the system uses what it calls meta coordinators. Honestly, they're like the air traffic controllers for the team's brain. They direct the flow of tasks and ideas, making sure the right info gets to the right agent at exactly the right time. It prevents bottlenecks and keeps the whole team perfectly in sync.
And listen, this is not a one-way street where the AI just barks orders at the humans. The whole thing is built on a really powerful feedback loop. Humans take the work the AI generates and they check it, they refine it. Then the AI takes that human feedback as a new lesson, constantly learning and getting better. It's a real partnership where both sides are actually making each other smarter.
So we've gone through the what and the how, but that leaves, the biggest question of all. Why? Why go to all the trouble of building a system this complex? What's the end game here?
It all comes down to one single idea, enabling what the people who built this call enlightened teamwork.
This quote from the source material just says it all, doesn't it? The point isn't just to be faster, it's to be more dynamic, more adaptable. It's about creating a team that can truly amplify collective intelligence, building something together that's way, way bigger than the sum of its parts, both human and machine. So we're going to leave you with this final thought. As these virtual collaborators start to become a normal part of our work, the question isn't if AI will join our teams anymore, but how we're going to adapt. As AI starts handling complex coordination and analysis, how do our own jobs need to change? What does it even mean to be a strategic, creative, human professional in this new world? That's the question we're all going to have to answer.